Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. With all the new shows that have been happening around Miss OA, the web is back on examining how she set up Michael Jackson in that notorious meeting and messed up his appearance everlastingly, and the Jackson family included. Janet Jackson actually holds serious areas of strength for and against Miss O4 doing MJ grimy youngster with this multitude of individuals calling her out. The web is persuaded that she causes more damage to dark professions than she does great now. We as a whole know Miss O has been in the information in the recent weeks since everyone and their mom has been calling her out. It began with Taraji separating while at the same time advancing purple, and things just began to twisting from that point.
Raji's disclosures of how she was come up short on for the film began a discussion that just spiraled crazy, making fans raise her past, and how there were different occasions where she supposedly repudiated professions. And have you at any point asked why the Jackson family don't rate her, and they don't connect with her? She did Michael grimy during the 90s, and afterwards she attempted to play in his family's face after he passed. So it's nothing unexpected in that Janet Jackson is additionally dead, denouncing her and blaming her for destroying dark specialists, including her sibling. Do you think Oprah totally deceived Michael? And I feel like she sold out, not simply him, but my family, for some setting.
The show began in 1993 when MJ consented to plunk down with her for a select meeting at his Neverland domain. Having an elite with MJ at his pinnacle was no joking matter on the grounds that you all expertise private MJ was, and the meeting was a significant hit. It got her name out there universally. It actually stays one of the most famous superstar meetings ever. MJ consented to the meeting to address well-established bits of gossip that have been going around for quite a while. These tales include charges about Michael loathing his dark skin and needing to be white the way in which he generally needed to be a lady, the way that he dozed in oxygen chambers because of his well-being, how he was fixated on his pet chimp Air Pockets, and how Air Pockets was his closest companion, how he had an ed. How he was a troublemaker who exploited kids, thus significantly more young lady. The gossip feast was in overdrive when it came to MJ, so he chose to at long last location the bits of hearsay unequivocal lie. This interview was a mutual benefit for them both in light of the fact that MJ would have at last let every one of the charges go and improved Michael's public picture, and this interview would push her name and brand universally, further develop her television evaluations. However, while Michael anticipated a responsive meeting, she had different plans as a top priority, since what should be a meeting to tidy up his picture ended up being a boring meeting that wound up compounding the situation. When the camera began moving, she began the meeting by inquiring as to whether he had gone through any type of restorative medical procedure. Accordingly, Michael explained that he hadn't gone through any broad corrective methodology, or did anything to his face. Anyway, he transparently conceded to having had a nose work and credited changes in his skin tone to vitiligo, a skin condition he was managing. Anyway, she didn't ease off, and she proceeded to push, and it reached a place where she began to make
It seemed as though MJ was lying through his teeth, even while Jay attempted to make sense of she would continually intrude on him to pose an inquiry that exacerbated him. Then when the meeting began, we should go to what is most examined about you, I believe, is the way that the shade of your skin is. Clearly not the same as it was the point at which you were more youthful. Thus I think, it has caused a lot of theory and debate regarding what you have done or are doing. Are you fading your skin and have is your skin lighter since you could do without being dark? Okay, number one there, as I am aware of, there is no such thing as skin dyeing. I have never seen it. I don't have any idea what it is. While they used to have those items growing up, I used to hear consistently use dye and shine, yet you must have around 300,000 gallons to affirm. Number one, this is what is happening. I have a skin problem that obliterates the pigmentation of the skin is that thing I can't help. Okay, yet when individuals make
up stories that I would rather not be who I am, it harms me. So it is nevertheless that is not all, since she continued to discuss MJ's father Joe, who is referred to have abused MJ as a youngster. For clear reasons, MJ felt a kind of way about discussing his father. However, he uncovered that he actually adored his father and had pardoned him. Yet notwithstanding this, she kept on pushing, saying that MJ was willfully ignorant and required treatment. Expressing this in a meeting that circulated globally was simply insane and was way off the mark, particularly when the place of the meeting was to work on MJ's picture. However, deteriorates in light of the fact that then she chose to examine MJ concerning his fellowship with children, and why he wanted to connect with kids. Really, the manner in which questions were being set up, it painted MJ out to be a fruitcake around kids. Yet he destroyed it, guaranteeing that the explanation he wanted to associate with kids is that they were guiltless and unadulterated, and being around them helped him to remember a youth that he never had the meeting annoyed individuals, since it seemed like she not just scrutinized his responses. It seemed like she censored him, she exploited his weakness to get him on her show just to wind up making him look more terrible. To compound the situation, a couple of months after the meeting, the main allegation of SA was disclosed, and it polluted his picture everlastingly on the grounds that individuals continued aloof to the meeting and saying that MJ should be liable. Afterward, in 2019, a 4-hour narrative named Leaving Neverland was delivered, and it zeroed in on two men named Swim Robson and James Sichu as they discussed the supposed suffering they endured because of MJ and his Neverland domain. When they were young men, it didn't take long for her to embed herself in the circumstances, since she went on to talk with Swim Robson and James Safechuck, giving the entire narrative a greater stage for the story yet again to spread. However, the thing is, the court previously got Michael Jackson for this situation and won free from the two informers. Swim Robson affirmed under oath that he was never say by Michael, so for what reason was she bringing this up? You know, when the began and when I was 11 in any event. When I was 22 and later, I had no comprehension that how Michael treated me with stomach muscle. I had no understanding of it, being that from night one of Her choice to return to the Say case got loads of fans and superstars frantic on the grounds that it was like she was playing top picks. Her best bud Harv. A. Weinstein was indicted for Say, however she would not shout out on him, her focusing all the more light on Michael Jackson's case and overlooking her to companions who were sentenced kind for simply makes the entire thing supersedes her circumstance with Taraji as of late launched the discussion encompassing her and MJ, and, surprisingly, his niece Cognac Jackson freely got down on her and blamed her for involving the Jackson family for clout. Even after MJ passed, do you think Oprah deceived Micah? Totally 100%, and I feel like she sold out him as well as my family. Well, Cognac isn't the only one making some noise in light of the fact that, as per reports, even right up till now, Janet likewise holds resentment against her for attempting to benefit from her family's agony. And truly, this seems okay concerning why no one from the Jackson family will at any point connect with her, particularly on the grounds that she never apologized for blaming everything on MJ like that, and, surprisingly, the fans feel the same way. I used to have a great deal of regard for her, but after she disseminated Michael, I lost all regard for her. She owes the Jackson family an expression. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.